Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be breaking down the flip trips formation out of the Cowboys playbook. This is one of my favorite formations in the game. I pretty much ran like nothing but this formation for the first probably 2 weeks after the game came out. I was pretty much obsessed with this formation, pretty much obsessed with one of the plays out of it. I would pretty much run it just like all game, and the reason I was obsessed with it is because there's just so many different reads you can make on it, so many different ways you can run it, and it was just really difficult to stop. So I'll go ahead and jump right into it. And the play I'm talking about, if you guys know anything about the formation, it is the Y play, deep fork. And so I'll come out in it against a random defense. Now, kind of alignment, let you guys know, I like to put my elite receiver on the left side, or if your elite receiver is someone like Antonio Brown, then I wouldn't do that, but you want to put your user catch option on the left side. So in this case, the Cowboys put Des Bryant on the left side. And pretty much the way I'll run this play, most of the time, would be I would fade Des Bryant, and I would put the right receiver who's on the auto motion out route, Cole Beasley, I'd put him on a drag. And pretty much I'll go ahead and explain why I do this. Obviously, on the left side, you want that one-on-one user catch option with Des Bryant. And then you want your other reads over the middle of the field. You've got Cole Beasley coming over the middle on the drag. You've got Jason Witten on the corner route, which is really good against man-to-man. You've got Terrence Williams on the skitty post down the middle of the field, which is really good if they're coming up to user the drag or the circle route by DeMarco Murray. And then that brings me to the last route. The circle route by DeMarco Murray is a great check down route, great quick pass route. It beats man-to-man very consistently. You can actually get huge gains off of it against man-to-man if your opponent's not ready for it. And it's also a great check down against zones, since a lot of times Cole Beasley will be kind of pulling zones to the left, then you can hit him back to the right or vice versa. And then if the zones kind of step up to guard DeMarco, then you might have Terrence Williams. If they drop back to guard Terrence Williams, then you might have DeMarco. Just a lot of different, it puts the defense in a lot of awkward situations where they have to pick one thing to guard, and then you can just go ahead and hit them with the other. So go ahead and run this. The way I like to run it, I'll motion snap Cole Beasley one step and then hike it. The reason I do that, he kind of gets a quick speed burst off the line of scrimmage, so if it's man-to-man, he'll be able to beat his man quicker. And he also kind of gets to the middle of the field quicker, and I just like that. So go ahead, one step, snap it, and right there, just kind of take the check down, try to get upfield. And I just want to kind of show you guys that route. So go ahead and run it again. One step, snap the ball. Right there, able to hit Jason Witten on the corner route. You could see that there was no buzz defender out there, and I knew Jason Witten would be able to get inside or underneath position against that corner out there. So run it again, and it's just all about making the reads right there. Nobody was out on DeMarco. If there's nobody out on DeMarco, you need to kind of hit that route over and over and make them respect it and make them guard it at that point where he cuts upfield. If there's no one right there when he cuts up the field, just go ahead and throw it. Get an easy 10 yards. Especially if an elite running back like DeMarco can break a tackle, he can take it to the house. So really, it's a really tough route to defend because they have to guard it right there, and then they have to guard it as it crosses the middle of the field. So it just puts your opponent kind of in a bind. It's right here. Went ahead, tried to hit Terrence Williams. Probably a bad read. Kind of got jumped by the safety there. But you guys get the idea. Just kind of make the read right there. You get one-on-one with Des Bryant. Obviously, you want to take advantage of that all day, unless they have somebody, like if they have the Seahawks and they have Sherman out there, or if they're the Cardinals, they have Peterson or Cromartie, it makes it a little bit tougher, but you could still definitely go for that one-on-one option out there if you're confident in your skill, if you're confident in your user catching ability. Right there, man-to-man, go ahead and hit the corner route. So just a ton of different reads, as you can see. I pretty much hit every single route right there. In the 5 or 6 times I ran the play. And then there's a lot of other things you can do. You can also leave it stock and run it just like this with Cole Beasley on the out route. He'll beat man-to-man a lot of times if your opponent's running a lot of man. Also, it'll create kind of a nice flood to the right. He'll kind of occupy the flat. You could try to hit Jason Witten behind him. Something you could do. You could go ahead and streak Williams so that you really get that nice flood to the right side of the field. Or you can leave him on his post. It kind of accomplishes the same thing. Terrence Williams, I couldn't think of his first name. And then another thing I like to do, if your opponent runs a lot of man-to-man, or if he's running a lot of two-man under, which a lot of people will kind of do if you're abusing the user catch with Des Bryant on the outside there, something you can do, you can just leave him on his corner route, and that'll beat man-to-man every time if you throw it as he cuts. I say every time, almost every time. Very, very consistent. I haven't had it picked off yet. I've had it swatted down a few times if they have a really good corner out there, like a Sherman or something. But very consistently beats man-to-man. So I'll go ahead and run it just stock for you guys here. It's still a great play, stock. Right there, that's kind of what I was talking about. You saw Cole Beasley was able to occupy the flat, and you were able to hit Jason Witten behind that. That was against cover 2. Works very well against cover 2 like that. And if your opponent's, as I said, playing a lot of man-to-man, you can go ahead and hit Des Bryant on that circle route. Right there, hit DeMarco underneath on the C route. Easy 10-yard gain. So just a great play. One of the best plays in the game, in my opinion. So I'll go ahead and look at some of the quick audibles. I've got slants flat. I don't really run that very much, but if your opponent's running a lot of man, you want to attack the middle of the field. I could see you running it. The mid-draw, unfortunately, is the only run play out of this formation. And if this formation honestly had like an inside zone or 0-1 trap or something like that, it would be I would probably never leave the formation. Like, it would be by far my favorite formation. This is really the reason why I left the formation, is because the running game is just really under par. I really don't like draws, but you got to work with what you got. So you can hit this every now and then if your opponent's playing a lot of coverage defense, dropping linemen back and stuff. Or if they're just rushing 3 or something, it can still be effective. Fades, I don't really run, but I think it can be definitely warranted to run. I'll go ahead and show you guys how I would probably run it. Cole Beasley kind of comes in, so that's kind of why I don't run it, because it's kind of a giveaway as to what you're doing. But what I would do, I would fade Bryant for that one-on-one option, and then I'd probably do something that makes Cole Beasley occupy the flat. So I'd probably just put him on like the little smoke screen route right there, so that he occupies the flat defender, so that you can try to hit Jason Witten behind him. So maybe something like that, where you can kind of squeeze it in. That's something that you could go ahead and look into running once or twice a game kind of play, because obviously if your opponent's savvy, he will catch on to Cole Beasley coming in, and he'll know kind of what you want to do out of that alignment. So just be careful about running that too much. But I think it's a pretty good play to mix in every now and then. Keep your opponent off guard. Your opponent obviously won't know what you're doing the first time you run it. And then PA cross, I don't really run. There's just nothing really unique enough about it to run, in my opinion. The Cole Beasley route kind of takes too long to develop, in my opinion. You've got the shallow cross for the tight end, which is nice, but there's some other plays out of the formation that kind of accomplish the same thing with the shallow cross. So really, obviously deep forks your base play. You got the draw as your run audible. You can try to pop that right there. It's the main reason. It's a perfect example as to why I don't like draw plays. Like right there, they brought a big blitz, so obviously it was a bad time to run a draw, but it's still right there. Got pretty good yardage, but it's just kind of awkward. You don't hit the line very quickly, and a lot of times they'll get a block shed or something, and you just end up getting nothing. PA cross, whatever those. So the other plays, there's only 2 other plays that I really like out of the formation. I think every play in the formation is viable enough to run, but there's only 2 others that I run consistently, and that would be slot trail. It's the first one. So I'll go ahead and show you guys this one. Really, I run it stock a lot of times, honestly. I'll leave Cole Beasley on that auto motion drag, because if you do the same thing with the deep fork drag that I do, where you hot route him to the drag and then motion snap him one step, it really conflicts with the trail route by the tight end. They kind of get mixed up, and they're running over the middle of the field at the same time, so not really accomplishing what you want them to accomplish, which is to clear out for each other. So if they're running at the same time, like in the same place, you can have one defender guarding 2 people, which you really don't want. So I just leave him on the auto motion drag. So that kind of gives away what you want to do out of this play if your opponent sees the auto motion, which is why I think like if you're running the draw or deep fork or something, you kind of want to run deep fork stock a couple times maybe to kind of get him used to seeing the auto motion. So when he sees the auto motion, he doesn't immediately think, oh, slot trail. He might think, oh, it could be deep fork, it could be slot trail, it could be the draw, because something I like to do when I run the draw, I'll put him on the motion. And if they're not paying close enough attention out there, they won't see that it was a normal motion rather than an auto motion. So right here, it's they're in goal line, so I'll go ahead and just run the draw again. Try to get upfield, 3-yard gain. But so slot trail, pretty much run it stock. Pretty much your reads are going to be Cole Beasley on the drag, Jason Witten on the trail route. If you've got the one-on-one out there with Des Bryant, which it really looks like we do right now, you can go ahead and throw that. And then you've got Terrence Williams on the corner route, which is really good against man-to-man if he gets good separation. So we'll go ahead and run it for you guys here. Right there is man-to-man. Go ahead and hit Cole Beasley on the drag route. That drag route will pretty much beat man-to-man every time. Just very good man-being play. All three routes on the right side of the field really beat man-to-man. Even the left side, if it's one-on-one man-to-man, if there's no safety help, I like Des Bryant's odds almost every time in the user catch game. And then if it's zone, you really want to just read the trail route over the middle, or the trail route combo over the middle with the drag to the trail. And then if you have the one-on-one, if it's like cover 3 or cover 2 on the outside, you can go ahead and hit Des Bryant. Go ahead and run it a couple more times for you guys here. Right there. Go ahead and try to hit Des Bryant. He dropped it. Probably shouldn't have thrown that. I think it was like a cover 4 or a cover 6, but go ahead and run it again for you guys here. Right there, hit the trail route. Against zone, if you do decide to hit, or I hit the drag route, I'm sorry, I said trail route. If it's zone and you do hit the drag or the trail, unless there's like a huge pocket that you can like spin into or cut up field really quickly, you probably won't get many yards. It's just kind of a play. It's more of a mix-up play to kind of make your opponent think about it so that he doesn't expect deep fork every single rip. So right there. Try to get a one-on-one animation with Des Bryant, but Romo kind of overthrew it. But you guys get the idea. Good mix-up play, good complementary play to deep fork. And then the last play out of the formation that I like to run is the slip screen. And there's really no secret to the slip screen. I'll pretty much do the same thing as the draw. I'll go ahead and motion Beasley to make it look like all the other plays. And you just kind of drop back and hope that no one sticks with DeMarco Murray and try to follow your blockers and get upfield. No real secret to it. Just run it stock. Just try to get upfield, follow your blockers, make a spin move. Spin moves are overpowered this year. So just always spin. If you're in doubt, just spin it out. And that's pretty much that. One other thing I wanted to show you guys out of deep fork that you can do. I'll go ahead and show you guys. It's a good short yardage mix-up play, in my opinion. So that really what you want to look for here is you always read Cole Beasley first on the auto motion out route. If he's open, throw it. If he's not open, you hope that he brings the flat defender outside enough to open up Jason Witten inside. So if he brings the flat defender all the way to the sideline, you'll be able to hit Jason Witten once he breaks out of his zig route and starts running towards the sideline because the flat defender will be occupied by Cole Beasley. So I'll go ahead and run it for you guys here. Right there was no flat defender, so I was able to just hit Cole Beasley, try to get upfield. It's a very good short yardage mix-up play. If you haven't run it, your opponent won't be expecting it. Right there, I threw the ball too early. You got to kind of have to wait for him to cut before you throw it. Right there, I was anticipating the cut, and so he overthrew it. Right there, kind of saw Jason Witten kind of got inside positioning on that defender out there. So it's just really a two-man read. Right there, man-to-man. Cole Beasley will beat his man pretty much every time, man-to-man. So man-to-man, you always want to try to hit that out route. If for whatever reason it's not open, if your opponent's using it, or there's a flat zone out there as well as man-to-man, then you want to look for Jason Witten. If that's not open, then you still have your backside reads. You still have DeMarco Murray on the circle route, you still have Terrence Williams on the skinny post, and you still have Dez if you decide to leave him on the corner route or if you decide to fade him. Doesn't really matter. So this is a play that I like to run in the red zone. I was having a lot of trouble kind of running this formation in the red zone, so this is a play I kind of came up with to kind of give me another option in the red zone other than like draw or slot trail or something like that. So I hope that's able to help you guys out. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for my deep fork flip trips breakdown. I pretty much ran this formation first 2 weeks after the game came out. I won 2 local tournaments with it, and I pretty much wasn't able to be stopped in those 2 tournaments. I'm not saying there were great players in the tournaments, but they were decent-sized tournaments. So I know this offense does work. I also ran it online ranked and had a lot of success with it. So I know this formation is very good. Cowboys Playbook is actually very good. There's a lot of other formations in it that really complement this formation very well with the running game and other stuff like that. So I hope this was able to help you guys out if you like this formation. If you run a custom and you don't have this formation in it, go ahead and throw this in your custom. I think it's a very, very good formation, probably top 5 in the game. So until next time, guys, I'll see you guys later, and best of luck online.